Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to Not Perfect Zen and a little bonus video for Inktober Tangles for 2024. Day 24 of Inktober Tangles for 2024 is Jessica's Heart. And when I showed this during my video, I mentioned that some of you may want to see how I did this, and I decided to just go ahead and show you how I set this up, and then you can play what if and draw until you're happy with doing Jessica's heart in a circle. Okay, I'm going to be using a micron PN, which is plastic nib, a graphite pencil, which is just a number 2 pencil, a blending tool known as a tortillon, and I will be using a marcus operandus, which is just a way to mark your tiles. I did this with a Zentangle. Okay, so this is Jessica's heart done on a Zentangle, and what I like about that is it fits on here so easily, and it's easy to mark the spots. Okay, and it's easy to do it with a 3.5 inch tile also. So this is just a Zentangle 3.5 inch tile, and the way that I have this marcus operandus marked is around these little diamonds on here, and there will be a link in the description for how you can get this and print it out. See, each one of these little diamond shapes divides this into 12 points. So the first thing I did was line this up, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and then I just come down and make a mark off of each one of these. Okay. And I'm going to turn this because it makes it easier. Okay. This one. And what I'm doing here is, I would call it Zentangle inspired art, because I am drawing a grid first. This is a mandala. But I really had fun with this one. I loved her example, and I wanted the challenge of doing it. Now for the one that I did here, I actually had some lids, excuse me, and I used them to make a couple of circles. But I'm going to follow Kelly Bluen's examples of how she does her mini mandala Mondays, except for during Inktober. Okay, let me zoom in a little on this. Okay, so now we have our 12 marks, and I'm just going to start by lightly making a line all the way across. Okay, same thing across here. And then I'm just going to go from this center point down to these. Now, if you wanted to, you can use a ruler. But I'm not trying to get these perfect. And I don't speed up my videos, so for this part, If you want to, you're welcome to fast forward, but don't get too far ahead. Okay. So now we have it divided into 12. And the next thing I want to do is I want to make some marks for this circle and that circle. And so this part right here is a little bit bigger than my pencil, and that one is about the width of that pencil, maybe a little bit smaller. I think that's about a centimeter. But we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking to get a circle in the center of this. So once you have that, your two lines, we're just gonna go along here, put that at the center. Like I said, I've learned this from watching Kelly Bluen. Her YouTube channel is Minutes of Zen. And she does mini mandala Mondays. And she uses just a couple of lines on a scrap paper to help divide things up. So, like I said, you can fast forward through this. So I'm going to do a line on each of these, or two lines on each of these lines. And of course, you're welcome to just do it without this. But I thought, why not combine this with the way Kelly does it, because I really like it. Okay, so once you have those down there, then you can just use your pencil and connect these lines with a slight curve. Like I say, I'm not looking for perfect. Okay, same thing on this one. Sorry. Need to silence my phone. Okay. And you could just, at this point, instead of doing pencil first, you could have gone straight to the pen. Okay. And you can tell that these are not perfectly divided, and that's okay. If you wanted to, you could adjust it a little bit. All right. So we're going to go to the pen now, and I'm going to fill in these circles. All right, and now the outside circle. Okay. And then I'm just going to fill in every other one of these. So I'm just going to have my Go ahead and fill in these lines. Actually, I'm going to go all the way down to the center. And if you feel like they're not even, you can always, like I said, adjust it a little bit as we go along. Okay, and I am going to pull out my graphic one. Okay, I like using that for filling in large areas. So we're just going to fill in every other square. And I think my graphic one is running out of ink. I use it a lot. So I would say my favorite pens are the Micron PN, which is the plastic nib, and O1, which is a nice fine tip, and the graphic one. Okay. One more. Starting to look like a dartboard. So this kind of follows a little bit of the way that Randi Jameson, the person who did it, she had one that she did in the round. And that's what I was trying to do, was follow how she had done that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put the little half moons along here. You can see that one's a little bit fatter than the others. It's okay. So if you remember from the first video, the next thing that we did was these straight lines that came up, and then we put the hearts in between. So we're just going to kind of guess at putting these all at about the same height. Okay, and then we put these V's down here that will be the bottom of our hearts. Okay, I am going to go ahead, and this is a kneaded eraser, and I'm going to erase what's left out here. And I'm being careful not to erase right where I just drew because it can smear it. But we don't need those lines anymore. All right. Now we're going to do the hearts. And we're going to do one that's big. And then we're going to skip, go to another one. So every other one is big. And then according to her step outs, this could be finished, okay? But if you want to, now you can put a small one in between so it doesn't go up quite as high. All right, so this is where you can continue just playing with it. You know, this is where you can decide what if I put these dark orbs or the little purse. I started by putting the weighting, rounding these corners down here. So let's do that. So just a little C curve at the top of each of these. That makes it look like petals here in the center. And then you just decide how far down you want to bring this. Okay, and I want to show you that right here, I took my pen and just drew the lines coming across this way. Okay, so that's how I ended up with it looking like these star points. Okay, you can do that, or like I did here, I did every other one. I did just lines, and then these, I filled them in. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this one, but just let you know that you do have options for ways to do this. That's why I'm saying just play what if. So under these big hearts, we're putting the lines. Well, actually, I'll tell you what, let's fill these in. Which would be opposite of where we have these. Okay. And then here, we will put just the lines going down. So again, just think about what could you put in here and what would be fun. This one we're going to fill in. Again, if this is going too slow, you're welcome to fast forward. The other thing I don't put in my videos is music. I find it very distracting when I'm trying to watch a video and listen to somebody talk. So I don't do that on my videos. All right. What do you think? And you could bring in the graphic one. Hold that in a little bit faster. And the graphic one is the same kind of ink that's in the Micron 01 and in the PM. They all have the same ink. And excuse me, archival ink means that it shouldn't fade and it should be waterproof. So if you wanted to put watercolor or something like that on top of this, you definitely could. Okay, one more. Okay. And now we'll put the lines in these other spaces. I'm trying to not go too slow, but also not too fast. I have really enjoyed Kelly Bluin's Mini Mandala Mondays, and I get some ideas from her on what to do. Okay. So for what I did next on this was under these, or on top of these little hearts, I put an orb with an orb inside. Oops, I didn't do that one right. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. These were supposed to be different. No mistakes, right? So for these big ones, what I meant to do there was put a big orb, put another orb inside, and then leave a little sparkle and fill that in. Okay, so that one didn't come out just right. It's okay. So we're doing a small one with small inside. On the big hearts, I'm doing a big orb. Put a smaller one inside. And then fill that in, leave in a little sparkle. Okay, here's another small one. And I was filling in those little areas there. Okay, big heart, it's a big circle. Fill that in. Small one. Big one. Okay. We're getting there. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just, where these hearts meet, I'm going to add a little bit of rounding in there. Okay. And now I'm going to put an aura around it. The difference here is I did the aura first, okay? And here I'm going to do the aura last. So just take your time. Okay, just turn in your tile. Remembering to breathe. Remember to relax your shoulders. That's the one that didn't turn out just right, but it's okay. All right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and put just some lines up the center. And like I said, you can look at mine and decide if you want to do the same things. That's the nice thing about watching a video, is you can decide what parts of that you want to use for your art, because this is yours. I'm just giving you some inspirations. Okay. The other thing that I did was just from the center here of these hearts, I put some little hatching lines, give it some dimension. And I'm not pushing down hard. Okay, just barely doing it. And our shading will really make a difference too. Okay, like I said, I'm doing that just very softly. And you might think to yourself, what if I don't? What if I don't do that? What if I do something just a little bit different? Go for it. Enjoy it. And you could, in areas like this, round it a little bit. Okay, for the bottom of these little hearts. You could round these edges. All right. Now for some shading, I'm going to put graphite right here in the center. And then just push that up. We're not going to go all the way. I want to leave the tips of these flowers white, or these petals. Okay. Now for these squares, I'm going to put graphite on each side. All right, now I'm going to soften that. I'm going to pull it toward the center on both sides, but I'm not going to pull it all the way across. Just soften it a little bit on each side, and it gives it a rounded look. And I'm not doing it on the black here because you really won't see it, and it can kind of dull it. But it looks really good on this part. Okay. I'm going to put some graphite just at the tops of these. And I didn't do this on the other one. I'm just thinking, what if? What if we did it that way? Let's try it. All right. And then we're going to soften that. And again, we're not going to pull it all the way up here to the top. And then trying to decide if I want to put graphite on the outside. Yeah, maybe I will. Just a little bit along this outside. And I'm just barely pushing down with my pencil. Just take your time even with the shading. Don't let it be something that you rush. Let it be part of your mindful habit of drawing. Okay, now we're just going to soften that. And as we go around, because I have graphite on this edge, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of put a little bit of a C at the top of these hearts. Just a little bit of shading there. And again, you can decide from what you see on mine if you want to do yours that way or not. I did the, see on this one, whoop, I missed that. But I think it probably looked better on this one because it didn't have the lines coming up from the bottom. But like I said, you decide. Make this yours. I enjoy looking at what someone else has done and decide how I want to do that on my tile. All right, almost done. All right, what do you think? Each one is a little bit different. So here's the tile that I did for the Inktober. And this is one I did this morning, just playing with it. So each one is a little bit different. And again, this is Jessica's Heart. It's day 24 of Inktober Tangles for 2024. Sign and date it. Put information on the back of your tile, either a journal entry, maybe what's going on, and the name of the pattern and the person that deconstructed it, because you'll want to have that later. All right, if you enjoyed this, I hope that you'll hit the like button, subscribe, and leave comments, share, and come back tomorrow for day 25. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.